Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we are celebrating International Eat What You Want Day. And helping us do so in the kitchen is our musical guest this afternoon. I'm talking about Sipho the Gift. Yes. Now, Sipho, are you having a good time so far?
I'm having the best time, actually. Yeah, don't worry about me. Yeah.
Okay, well, he is not too comfortable in the kitchen, but Dumi, you've got something special.
No, I've got something special that actually brings some color into your life. It'll make you want to eat every day, all day.
It's time to color your life and your plates with PLASCON. I'm joined by our resident chef, Chef Dumi, who is going to create a delicious meal using not one, not two, but 3 PLASCON colors. Now, Dumi, this year's PLASCON color palette is a heartfelt tribute to the natural world outside of our homes. And you are definitely going to be doing this, bringing life and light and color to our plates. So what 3 PLASCON colors will you be using in this dish?
Palisa, you did mention it's a trio of colors today. So we're going to be starting it off with our pear fantasy, which is like that 60%. We're then going to be going over to our desert water and then over to our Zanzibar. So that's basically the representation of, you know, the beach sand, that smoky yellowish green color, which is our pear fantasy. And then our desert water, which just reminds me of the ocean water. And then the Zanzibar, it just reminds me of all the trees. You know, imagine yourself lounging on the beach, you know, at an island somewhere. That inspired this dish that we're making right now. And we are making a blue cheese pasta with caramelized mushrooms. Yeah. And I think on its own, that sounds decadent before we even get too far. So I'm going to get it started for you, Bale. I'm just adding some oil into our pan and some butter just to get our sauce started.
Okay, very, very reminiscent of the outdoors, I think it's safe to say. I mean, on your side, Sipho, as someone who is not quite familiar being in the kitchen, we always want to equip you with the easiest, quickest recipes, especially because these days we are busy, child. And this is one of those recipes that you could possibly challenge yourself and try at home and impress wifey.
Yes, I'm looking forward to learning.
Okay. Then in that case, you can get started with the dish for us. He'll be making the caramelized mushrooms for us. That's the brown elements. That's that Zanzibar color. What we're doing there is we basically got those dark, smoky brown colors. That's what our mushrooms will be representing. So he's just going to fry up some onions, add some thyme, add those mushrooms into there, and just get it nice and smoky brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to me, at the end of the day here, we are still able to not only color our world, color our lives, color our rooms and our space, but we're also able to color with our plate.
Correct.
Now, they do say you eat with your eyes. Why is that so important? Why is presentation so key?
It is the importance part because the thing is, when we say you eat in your eyes, you want to be invited into the dish. You want to look at it and think to yourself, I actually want to try that. Manja, if a plate is bland, it's just like, I feel like food is the spice of life. You know, that's the flavor of life. So that's where, if it looks good, it tastes good. Well, we hope. This one definitely looks good. So now, I'm making that blue cheese sauce for our pasta. And as you can see, I've got some linguine pasta here. That's going to be the base of our pasta. I'm actually going to start plating that up. In fact, do you want to help me and just plate that up for me, girl?
So do we, you went with linguine. Can we go with any other kind of pasta? Because I do know you always emphasize that we have to have a pasta that kind of accompanies the sauce. Something that is very saucy, can scoop up and soak up the sauces. Are we able to play?
Yes, with this one, because of the kind of dish it is, because it's got the creamy blue cheese in it and the sauces and actual cream in it, it's able to coat every bit of whatever pasta you use, you know? So linguine works best in here. Spaghetti would also work in this instance. Even your shells, pasta shells, any kind of pasta would work. So it basically, because of the kind of dish it is, it could work with any type of pasta.
What have you put in your pan so far? And it seems as if you're so focused you can barely even breathe.
I've got some mushrooms in here. I've got some onions. I've got some seasoning as well, some salt and some spice,
Okay, well, he's doing quite well. That's exactly what we want. We want the flavors that we see to actually, we want to be able to taste something before we even eat it. So what I've done here is I've also added some oil and butter into our pan. I've then added some cream. So what the cream is going to do with that onion is just as it cooks, it's going to thicken up. But because we said it's a blue cheese pasta and we're adding that blue color to it. So what, in essence, what the PLASCON colors I'm going with here, we've got the pasta, which represents the pear fantasy. We're doing a bit of a 60-30-10 rule, ratio type situation. So the 60% being our pear fantasy, and those are those mellow, yellow, light, creamy colors going for there, and then with that yellow and green. And then we're going with the desert water, which then represent the blue cheese sauce, and that's going for that 30% ratio here. And then for that 10%, which I keep talking about, that Zanzibar, that's, imagine those trees, imagine, you know, the palm trees at the beach, in Jalo.
And those are those, the caramelized mushrooms there that Sipho is creating.
For us.
Dumi, please may you just have a spectator there?
No, I
let us know how
he's
he's
doing quite well. I'm just going to add a bit more oil. Okay, do you wanna just add more oil in there? Because the reason for that is that mushrooms do soak up a lot of moisture.
Yeah.
So that's what they've done. They've basically eaten up all of that moisture in there, but they are frying up nicely. They're gonna get nice and golden brown. And once that's done, that's basically means we can start assembling our dish. So you've added our pasta there. Now,
Very, very good. The blue cheese can be a very overwhelming flavor, but it actually is quite well balanced.
it is. That's the whole idea here, because we want to be able to make sure that each of the different elements stand out in their own right. So as you can see, remember I was telling you about those different ratios here. We've got our pasta that represents our 60%, which is the pear fantasy. We've got our desert water, which is the blue cheese sauce. And then we've got these mushrooms that we're just adding at the very end here, which is that Zanzibar. So imagine beachside, that's what you can see or imagine from this plate.
Love it. Sipho, thank you for all of your hard work in the kitchen here. Chef's hats off to you. And if you want to try this at home, please simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za to get this recipe. Now, a delicious pasta inspired by PLASCON colors. Life doesn't have to be boring, and neither does your plate. Color your life with PLASCON. Together, we've got this. Join Expresso this autumn for a chance to win one of 6 PLASCON vouchers, each to the value of 5,000 Rand. With nature's own forests, fields and beaches inspiring PLASCON's new color combination. Tell us how you would color your life. Answer our weekly social media question and find the terms on expressoshow.com. So color your life with 5,000 Rand PLASCON paint vouchers to be won this autumn on Expresso.